Hey there guys, I'm John Campea. Thanks so much for visiting my movie vlog. You know, one of the discussions that comes up an awful lot in comic book movie fans conversations is, what the hell is Fox doing with Fantastic Four? I mean, they make that first train wreck of a Fantastic Four movie, it didn't work out, so they decided to do a sequel, and that didn't work out, and they said, well, we'll reboot it again, and this time we'll put Miles Teller in the lead, have Josh Trank direct, it's gonna be great, right? And that ended up being a massive disappointment, and now you can't go anywhere in any kind of comic book movie conversations without the topic of, shouldn't they just send Fantastic Four back to Marvel coming up, and for obvious reasons. Even I, somebody who staunchly usually says, no, just keep comic book characters where they are, everything's good. Even I've come around to saying, yeah, maybe Fox should kind of give up on this point with the Fantastic Four. But a couple of people have often written me questions over the years, really, and especially in the last couple of weeks about, would the Fantastic Four fit better in the MCU, or would they fit better in the X-Men universe? So far, the Fantastic Four haven't been in either, despite the fact that they've been under the Fox umbrella. Fox has never crossed them over with any of their X-Men properties. Obviously, Kevin Feige and the folks over at Marvel, if they ever got their hands on Fantastic Four, you know they would insert them immediately into the wider MCU. But where would Fantastic Four be more at home? Now, I may surprise you, even though I think Fox should probably give up on Fantastic Four and let them go back to Marvel, I'm going to stand up and say, Fantastic Four would by far have a bigger impact and fit in better in the X-Men universe than they would in the MCU. Now, don't take that as any kind of a slam on the MCU. Everybody knows I'm a big fan of the MCU. I think they make some wonderful, great, some of the best comic book movies of all time. And let's not fool ourselves into thinking that everything Fox has done has been a mess. Yes, they've blown it with Fantastic Four every single time. However, they've done a pretty damn good job overall with their X-Men universe films. Have they had a couple of times where they fumbled the ball? Absolutely they have. Wolverine and things like that. Yes, they have dropped the ball on a couple of occasions. However, overall, you're talking about X-Men, X-Men 2, X-Men First Class, X-Men Days of Future Past, you're talking about Logan, you're talking about Deadpool. They overall put a really nice universe, although loosely fitting together, universe together. So why would somebody like me say that even though Fox has pretty much blown it completely every time they've took a swung at the bat with Fantastic Four, why would I say that they would fit much better in with the X-Men universe? Simply a matter of better fit. Look, if you took the Fantastic Four and you suddenly moved them back over to Marvel and Marvel inserted them into the MCU, big deal. Really, seriously, what kind of impact do they have? The MCU is now so overrun with superheroes. It's like not just every city has their own superhero, every neighborhood has their own superhero now, if you want to take the Netflix situation into account too. It's like everybody's a superhero. There's 1,000 superheroes over here and 1,000 superheroes over there. Some gods from the heavens come down and they're superheroes. Some guy from the 50s gets injections and he's a superhero. Look, there are tons of superheroes in the MCU. If the Fantastic Four were suddenly to pop up, there would be ho-hum. There's a dude that can stretch real far. Here's a rock dude. Oh, there's a girl who can turn invisible and make force fields. How either of those two things have anything to do with the other, I'm not really sure, but that's kind of cool. And a fire guy. Okay, great. Ho-hum. We've seen it. We've been there. We've done that. That's the world of the MCU right now. But now think with me for a second about what type of impact would a Fantastic Four team have on the X-Men universe? Keep this in mind. There are no superheroes in the X-Men universe. Yes, the X-Men are superheroes. But to the public perception, to the world at large, to this universe that the X-Men live in, there are mutants and there are humans. And that's it. Up until this point, there have been no superheroes. In a world that hates and fears them, the mutants are looked at with a lot of divisive opinions. Some people think they're just like everybody else. Some people think they're the enemy. Some people think they're a threat to humankind. You now take that and introduce the concept of the Fantastic Four, the original superhero team that the world loves and adores. You now take that and firmly plant that in the X-Men universe as the X-Men universe's first true non-mutant superheroes. the impact, the narrative possibilities that you have with them there, I would argue far outweigh the impact and the narrative implications they could have in the MCU at this point. Because in the X-Men universe, as non-mutant superpowered beings, they would truly be unique and alone in the universe, which has always been one of the big appealing things to me about superhero stories, and one of the reasons I'm a little bit cautious about the DCEU and the MCU, where there's a superhero on every corner. No superhero is truly special anymore. You put the Fantastic Four in the X-Men universe, they are the first true superheroes in their world. Look, if all we were doing was asking the question, who at this point do I trust more with making a Fantastic Four movie, Marvel or Fox? Well, Fox just struck out with them. I would say Marvel. But really, there's still so much potential for big, narrative, dramatic impact for the Fantastic Four to have in the X-Men universe, I'd say far more than in the MCU. But the big question here is, what do you think? Where do you think the Fantastic Four would make the bigger impact and have the biggest influence narrative-wise on the respective universes? In the MCU or in the X-Men universe? Jump into the comment section below and leave me your thoughts. Hey, listen, while you guys are here, take a second, click on that subscribe button, become a subscriber to my John Campea YouTube channel, and make sure you follow me on social media, on Facebook and on Twitter, simply @JohnCampea. That'll do it for me for now, guys. Join the conversation. Thanks for joining me, and until the next video, bye-bye.